Hello, everyone. My name's Nick Bradley.
My name's Sophie Cunningham.
I'm Eric Hanratty.
And I'm Dave Bales. Welcome to Not the Situation Room. We have a newbie.
We do. I don't know
Hi.
if it's right to call her a newbie, though. I'd say, but you're a newbie to the show, so okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be here. This is the best part of my week so far, which is sad because it's Friday.
Well, then that means it can only get better from here, right? Oh, so Eric,
Yes, Eric.
tell us about that wonderful CISSP exam that I still haven't taken to this day.
It was wonderful. I learned so much about all 8 domains in security that I think I might use one of them in my future life.
I don't
I
believe
mean, it
that.
was it was great to cover everything from ping of death to GRC auditing in one exam. I feel like I'm ready for to be a security guy.
So, everything everything I know about it and everything I've heard is that the topics covered are like they're this wide but only that deep.
Yep.
And that makes sense for things like the MCAT, which one of my daughters just took for like the third time because that test is a nightmare. Because, well, that's the medical field. I understand they have enough to be that wide and that deep and still not cover everything. But the CISSP, I mean, really, is ping of death ever going to be a thing? Really?
It's really
Yeah,
just learning how to take the exam too, because there's more than one way to do things. But there's only one answer to their questions.
I despise that. And it's not your fault. It's just it's true. Most of the time these tests or exams, like you're not learning the material. You're learning to take the test. And then after that, it's completely useless. Flush it all and move on because the practical world is completely different.
and that's why it was so challenging because yes, you are learning a mile of stuff. Like I had never been the firewall guy or software development guy, so I had to spend a lot of time in those 2 domains. But then, as Sophie said, it's the material plus how to dissect the question, look for the keywords, read it twice, compare all the answers, pick the best one.
Sometimes I think for situations like that or even tests like that, you should be able to go, look at all this experience. These are all the things I've done in my career. This is my experience. This is my life. Okay, you just get it.
There's a
You,
reason I'm never taking that
you
test.
honorary have the CISSP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
None
Well,
of
I'll
you
you.
never,
know, I've
never
I've
do it.
been sitting around with nothing to do for a while, so hopefully that's about to change soon. But I use my
Well,
time wisely.
we all wish you the best of luck with that, and I hope you bring us good news next time we're talking. So, on that note, I think this ends the witty banter section. Let's do some news. What have we
Let's
The
got?
do it.
CISSP witty banter.
All right. So the first item we are bringing to the table is called Fragnesia. And this is the latest in the slew of these Linux kernel vulnerabilities that have been coming out. So a new critical Linux vulnerability, kernel vulnerability dubbed Fragnesia allows local unprivileged users to escalate their privilege to root. It belongs to the dirty frag class of bugs. I feel like I shouldn't be able to say that on TV. The flag exists in how the kernel handles network socket buffers, specifically ESP in TCP. Essentially, the kernel forgets that certain memory fragments are shared and ends up zoring a single byte of data into the read-only kernel page cache. By repeating this process, an attacker can precisely flip bytes and sensitive files in memory to spawn a root shell, all without touching the actual file on the disk.
It's the same vulnerability over and over and over
It
again.
really does seem like that, right? I mean, it's probably
It
the only
does.
differences are probably in in specific parts of how it's done, but it really feels like the same thing over and over again.
And they're not rated very high either. And that's part of the problem is that
Aha.
because it's local access, the prevailing thought is that you have to be in front of the keyboard, and that's just not the way it works.
Oh, here we go with our conversation on physical access versus local access.
No, no, I think we've beaten that horse to death, but the all of these Linux vulnerabilities that have come out are all the same thing. I mean, they all have the same kind of access, local user to root access.
It kind of
Right.
feels like the AI who found this is a little lazy because they're just going after the same thing over and over again. Like, at least mix it up. Look at a different area.
Well, that's what we see this over the years, time and time again. I go back to like the Log4j stuff. Well, that
Hmm.
was one of my first exposures to it, where it's like, oh, Log4j, we patched that, and then like the next day, the hackers are like, oh, but one more command over, it's a whole new thing. Like next, and
And
then.
then and then no and then no and then.
So on under our hot take section that we have, it says the stealth factor is a hot take here because it only modifies the in-memory page cache and not the disk itself. So the integrity checkers that they have employed won't see what's going on. It's a ghost in the machine. And it really is a ghost in the machine because it leaves absolutely no presence once it's done.
Does that really make it fileless?
That might make this fileless, but it's not malware. It's just vulnerability.
Where is Ben Shipley when we need to talk about fileless and if it's an actual thing?
We're not gonna. Are we
We
gonna
haven't.
get into the what's fileless debate?
Yeah, see, that's another one. So what's this other one? The reboot or bust warning? Oh, even after you patch the kernel, if the exploit has already run, the malicious version of the system file stays in the cache. You must flush the cache or reboot. Okay, wait, reboot or bust. Even if, okay. At first, I thought it said after reboot, it was still there. I'm like, wait, you just said after reboot. No, it's just after you patch. You actually got to flush the cache, or the backdoor persists until the next power cycle. So once it reboots, though, it's gone after you patch, of course.
Right. And how many patches today don't require a
Actually,
reboot?
so that's a good. I have a question. Even if I don't patch, if I reboot, is it gone?
I think
No,
the
you have to
vulnerability is
unplug your
probably still
computer
there.
and hold the power button for 10 seconds to diffuse the electricity bill.
The vulnerability is still there, but man, okay, that's now this is a chicken and the egg thing.
If you hit your computer with a hammer, you'll probably get rid of it.
Like Sophie's take.
Percussive maintenance works
Yes,
Mhm.
99% of the time.
I saw a meme one time of a guy that was like holding another guy down, choking him out, and then it said, "This is how I feel while holding down the power button on my laptop, waiting for it to stop
Do
breathing."
you physically press it harder?
Yes.
As I
My
say,
finger,
shh, it's okay. Shh.
Shh, quiet. All right, so this is the latest, and then until the next one, right? So whatever the next one, it's going to be, the same but different.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll
this is
still be
part of
local
the,
access.
patch apocalypse. There's
Yes.
going to be more and
Yeah,
more. I think I saw someone refer to it as vuln apocalypse as well, but I like Dustin's phrasing first.
yep.
Yeah,
But
Patch Apocalypse. And I think if he was here, he would remind us that Chompy actually owns that phrase, not him. So I have to remember that.
credit where
Oh yeah,
credit's
he did.
due.
Yeah, he did say that
Okay,
for sure.
enough
Because I was
about
gonna give
the
him trademark credit there, but can't do it.
right. No, he's got enough with Mog
Yeah, he does.
and how Final Fantasy hasn't come after him for that one yet.
Well, let's talk about some fantasy because Dune is in the news. Sort of.
Shai-Hulud.
Shai-Hulud is back. The hacking group Team PCP has gone open source with their Shai-Hulud worm.
This is some
Release-
weird stuff. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Releasing the full source code on GitHub. Yeah, the full source code. This malware is designed specifically for supply chain attacks targeting NPM and PyPy ecosystems. It's modular, featuring secrets harvesting tools for AWS, Kubernetes, and GitHub tokens. Even crazier, the group launched a supply chain challenge on breach forums offering cash to other hackers who use the worm to cause the most downstream damage.
The audacity.
Hey, $1,000 is a nice chunk of chain. That's what
It's
they're
like
offering.
I feel like I need to be clutching pearls when I say that. The audacity.
The audacity of this group. What are they doing?
I ain't even mad at him. I'm like, "Dang, okay, okay." But
They're
so I
just
mean, this
taking
is go for it.
they're just taking props from the Bug County community, bug
Oh,
bounty
Yeah.
yeah,
community.
yeah. That is kind of what it reeks of, right? Is this is your way of perverting the bug bounties, right?
Well, they have to do damage, so I
So
mean,
where is Team PCP getting their money for their rewards? Or like, oh, we got a ransom paid one day, so you can have part of it if you go do your own thing.
subscription services. Although
So,
with them releasing this open source, there's no more subscription service need for it.
so one of the hot takes in here literally stole my thunder because it's exactly what I was thinking when I read this. And this is by open sourcing the worm, they create noise that may hide their own high value operations behind the sea of script kiddies using the same tool. And that, if you think about it, yeah, this becomes a giant smoke screen for them to hide behind. Because I mean, now it's whack-a-mole. Which one is really Team PCP?
Right. We're going to have an influx of Team PCP wannabes.
Will the
I
real
mean,
Team
it's
PCP please
interesting.
stand up?
It's interesting for me because I wouldn't strike them as a group that's overly concerned with trying to hide their tracks compared to like maybe a nation state.
Yeah.
Is this like when Ash Ketchum ran into the other Team Rocket squad and he
Couldn't
had to fight Team Rocket and Team Rocket?
couldn't make it to the end without a Pokemon joke. Could we?
Man, we're going to go one episode one day without getting a Pokemon joke
Nope.
in.
Either that or
That
they'll
would be
sponsor us. Hey.
So there's another hot take here. Actually, this is a hot take Sophie brought to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really about the difference between the mini Shai-Hulud worm or the real big Shai-Hulud worm. And
That
apparently
that
they're,
that sounds like some bullshit you just made up.
well, all a bunch of different articles are picking out of the hat which name they want to use. But apparently there are two generations of self-propagating worms that target open source packaged registries. Um, but they do not just steal credentials. They replicate and publish the poison updates to legitimate packages. But the difference lies in their target strategy and sophistication. Shai-Hulud relied on wide net credential harvesting to compromise software developers, while the Mini is evolved variant specifically optimized to hijack advanced modern CI/CD pipelines, automated workflows, and trusted publishing. So there is a difference. So pay attention to that, news writers.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that going
Uh,
to be an
like
indicator of attack, indicator of compromise?
what I will say is I don't like the name Mini Shai-Hulud because Shai-Hulud translates to giant worm. So now we're saying mini giant worm. But that's like
Oh,
jumbo shrimp. That's like
now we're
jumbo
going to start
shrimp.
with, yeah, now we're going to start with the English language. Let's get busy.
Dave, I'm sure we could start a whole nother series on just that alone.
That's right. Grammar time with Dave.
this is just the trailer for Dune 3 that comes out in December.
There you go. I can just see Dave in a uniform going, you think grammar's a joke? Jail, straight to jail.
If you could edit that
This,
to zoom in on his diploma behind him,
oh yes.
You'd be disappointed. It says
Ah,
cybersecurity
so
there.
this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving, though, because I remember writing up Shai-Hulud the very first time,
Yeah, we
and
we did that a long time ago.
it just keeps on giving.
Yep.
You know
Every
what
day.
though? You know what this makes me want to say though? Stop open sourcing things.
Yeah, but that that's what that's going to do. It's just going to open the open source door even more.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
But
going to
anyway,
tell me to stop eating.
so Shai-Hulud and now mini Shai-Hulud, and I need to make sure I know the difference clearly because I think I have to talk about that again on Monday with another podcast that will not be named right now.
Oh,
and
Yep.
protect your supply chain.
a
Yeah.
secret podcast.
No, not so secret, just compartmentalization.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're going to
All
break that
right.
compartmentalization in a couple
Nick,
of
you're too
weeks.
good to keep on just one podcast.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Eric, what do we got here? This looks like a funny story.
All right. So yeah, the next one was one I saw that it's not so great technical wise, but it was a pretty good reminder since I was just in studying for some certifications about your people processes in cybersecurity and
Hmm.
IT world. So here we got twin brothers Munib and Shoaib Akhtar. Yep, that's how you pronounce that. Were
Hmm.
recently
Hmm.
convicted for a massive retaliatory attack against their former employer, Opexis, a federal contractor. Minutes after being fired in a remote meeting in February 2025, the pair used their still active privileged access to delete 96 federal databases. These databases contain sensitive investigation files and
That's
FOIA,
FOIA. That's FOIA.
FOIA, whatever those are. If anybody knows what those are, I don't know what those are. Records for 45 agencies, including DHS and EEOC. Adding to the drama, they were caught asking AI, an AI tool had to clear their system logs right after deletion.
This
I heard that they just Googled it and then they forgot to clear their Google search history. That might
This
make it even funnier.
yeah, this is the cyber version of a murderer Googling how to dispose of a body,
Yeah, but not clearing their cache
but not
afterward.
clearing their cache. So the vulnerability
So,
is still there. Wait, different story.
so this one hit home to me also because apparently uh, there was a previous issue with these guys that would have shown up in their background check if they had looked
Had
in
they
their criminal
had they
past.
done one? Had they actually done one?
Right. Um, Let me see. I know it's in the actual
It's in here.
article.
See, I don't actually, no, it's in here. I don't actually, expect a background check to get everything. But what is this one? They had already been convicted of hacking the State Department back in 2015. How do you miss that in a background check?
I'm
Yeah, it
pretty
wasn't
sure
that long ago.
that's got to be a big red flashing felony on any background check.
Well, you know what they say, they only go back 7 years in a background check, which is crap because I've filled out that ridiculously long form, I don't know, 10, 15 times. They go back to your childhood. So how they missed this, I don't know.
Well, see,
It
that's kind
probably
of
depends on what background check,
right.
what data retention, what level of clearance, etc. I got to
Yeah.
imagine this was at least public trust with these federal contractor.
Yeah, but you aren't supposed to be able to get a job, a federal job at all if you have a felony. Is that, I mean, am I talking out of the wrong end? But isn't that kind of the way you can't get a job with a felony or a federal job?
Did they get it expunged somehow? I don't think they expunge felonies, do they?
I don't think so.
No, that takes a whole judge order thing, and then
I
I
mean,
think
they can be
still something
overturned, but that's not the same
Yeah.
thing.
But they said
money
convicted,
still shows up.
so yeah, they never said overturn the conviction. So yeah, how they didn't do a criminal background is beyond me. I have no idea.
Well, this
So,
to me connects back to the human error element that we all so often tripped up against is like we can't protect against our worst link, and someone somewhere messed up and didn't do the proper background check, and this led to catastrophic consequences for them.
And
so
on the flip side, they left their access open, like in all of these certifications and exams. Just literal book process is cut their access right before you have the talk, basically,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
have their box ready at their desk.
I said
The IT guy knows before you do.
this is so much more people and procedure failure than any technology failure at all.
Yeah, no,
Because
this was a people mistake.
we got the background check problem, and then couple that with, like I said, like Eric was hinting at, like the offboarding part. When you're offboarding someone in security, you have all their access cut, or at least someone is standing there ready to pull the switch, roll on three. As soon as they're
Yeah.
gone,
As soon as they connect to that meeting, switch.
yes,
I don't want that logic bomb command going through PowerShell.
PowerShell.
Because some of them dudes, they got scripts. They're just waiting to double click, like, all right, runtime, Lord, like a dead man switch. If I don't sign on today, run.
Yeah, this one was just a time bomb waiting to go off. I mean, this was just
And
bad
it went off.
from the start. This was just ticking, you
It
know?
went off 96 times.
Yeah, that was a script, dude. That tell you like that. They didn't sit there 96 times and hit delete. They had
Oh,
that
yeah.
batch script ready to go.
Oh,
They had to have known that their eventual time was coming up.
they were probably ready from the time they got hired because they were probably waiting till for somebody to go, we missed this in the background check. Somewhere along the line, the two of them were probably saying that felony's going to come back to get us eventually.
It's coming to bite me in the ass
Every
really
every
quick.
day they came into work going, is this the day? Is this the day?
Or
So,
this was their opportunity to try to make it big as disaster recovery consultants. We're going to have a surprise test today.
yeah. Pop quiz.
Oh boy.
Maybe they worked with that AI that deleted that production database in like 9 seconds.
That was almost the
Oh,
topic that I threw on here today. I didn't get
couldn't do
to
it. Yeah.
it. Hey, we can talk about it that one next time.
Yeah, we can.
But on that note, everyone, I think that's all we had to cover today. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to throw out before we wrap?
I just wanted to tell Sophie thank you for coming on today.
Oh,
Thank
and
you
then say thank
For,
you for having me.
putting up with our shenanigans.
the next person that says shenanigans, I'm going to pistol whip.
Hey, Farva.
Shiny Hunters shenanigans.
Yep. Now the real test is whether she comes back for another episode.
That would be
Well,
fantastic.
she did
Drop
show
a
up with
comment if
evidence
you
that
think
she
I
watched
will.
last week.
Did you hear? She said, "Drop a comment if you think she will."
Look at that. You're coming back now. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and like, follow, share, subscribe, and as was said, leave us a comment. And
We will see you next time.
Catchphrase.